Hi everybody, I'm Amy, and should you be visualizing in first person or third person? I actually get this question a lot, and I'm going to tell you what I do. I personally visualize in first person. However, stay tuned for more information. I do want to share with you what I have noticed through actual real experience. And like I said, my name is Amy. If you like the content on my channel, you can like, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon. There's all sorts of things that YouTube has for you to do if you would like. Also, if you want to see the types of things that I manifest, I post pictures, usually on my Instagram, same name over there as it is here. It is a public account. You do not need an Instagram account to look at what I post. It is Amy Westmoreland. You could search it as Illuminating Joy. Cool. So, first person. Personally, I visualize in first person when I do the visualization. I've had plenty of manifestations I never visualized on purpose at all. You can have a thought, the thought is going to bring up an image, you may not even notice the image. So you do not have to visualize to get a manifestation. However, it is one of the most amazing tools that you do want to get in the habit of using, because if you're ever stuck or you can't figure out why something isn't manifesting, your imagination, being able to visualize in first person, is going to be your go-to place to clear things up. So what does this mean? So first of all, first person is looking out of your own eyes. So right now you are looking at me. I am your third person perspective. You see me on the screen. You see my face, you see my head. I'm like waving my arms around, right? Your perspective from you out is first person. And what you see of me is third person. I'm third person. Oh, am I really doing air quotes? Really? It's so old. Okay, anyway. So then, I right now, looking at the camera, is first person. I don't see my face except on the screen that's looking back at me, which is third person. So when you are visualizing, you want to visualize from your own perspective, just like when you're asleep and you have a dream. When you're dreaming, it's first person. That's why it feels like it's really happening to you. Okay, so you know how when you're in a dream, and it doesn't matter what's happening, no matter how weird or crazy or scary or happy or wonderful it is, it feels like it's happening to you, but that doesn't mean that you're like elated that it's happening, because you could be having a nightmare and it feels awful. That's what Feel It Real is really about. So when you are deliberately visualizing first person, regardless of what the subject is you're working on, you want to see it as though you are currently experiencing that moment as you would as if you were really there, and have a real experience. Feel it real, not feel it excited. Now, in some cases, you might be excited in that moment, but in a lot of them, you're not. Sometimes you will be able to manifest, especially naturally, by having a thought of something that brings up an image in first person because you've experienced it before, and you have like a neural pathway that basically takes you there, and you have a thought of indifference. Well, the indifference is the real feeling that you would have when you get there. So when you actually get there and it manifests, you're like, whatever. So feeling it real does not mean you have to jack your emotions up into happiness or excitement. In fact, someone had asked me a question recently saying, I feel really happy and excited every time I watch my manifestation in third person. Is this how you do it? And I'm like, no, because that's like watching a movie. That's like watching this video. You're entertained by it. You're not supposed to be entertained necessarily by your visualization. So if you are using it as a form of entertainment and you're not really participating, you're sort of observationally watching it, you may be kind of missing the mark on feeling it real. So again, don't panic though. I don't want anyone to ever think like they're messing up their manifestation. What's happening is we're learning the nuances of what manifestation, deliberate manifesting, really looks like in our system when we're aware of it. And what it doesn't. And there are a lot of nuances that words sort of fall short in explaining, and that's why you want to keep practicing so you can experience the difference. So some people might say you have to feel good when you visualize, which means you want to feel good that you have the thing that you want, but you don't have to feel good all the time. It's sometimes words sort of miss the mark or don't go deep enough to explain what's really happening in your consciousness. And then people think, oh, I've done it correctly, where is it? And they get frustrated when in reality, they are just not understanding that they haven't gone deep enough with it. And I don't mean deep as in you have to dig up all your past stuff and like fix it. I mean deep as in clearly connecting with it as a first person experience. So everybody likes the very popular, how do you manifest a text message? Well, in all the videos I've ever seen about how to manifest a text message, which by the way, I have not made that video for a reason. I feel like there's 1,000 videos out there. Just use any of them. But the whole point is you imagine it first person. You imagine picking up your phone. You imagine looking at it. You imagine reading it, right? That is first person. That is what you want to do. That's how visualization is going to anchor in the fastest for you to give you a first person perspective. Now, third person would be like you watching yourself. You are one person watching a whole version of you, your body, your head, holding your phone, sitting on the sofa, and that person is smiling because they got the text message. Is there a danger in manifesting third person? The world is a really weird place. Anything is possible. So is it possible that you could manifest that someone else gets that message instead of you? Yeah, sure. Is it that dangerous that you need to avoid it at all costs? No. The truth of the matter is everything you've ever seen in your entire life, internally and externally, good, the bad, and the ugly, is possible because you wouldn't have been able to see it if it wasn't possible. So manifesting does not eradicate this idea that there's stuff out there that we don't want to experience that we can accidentally stumble and fall into. So this isn't about avoiding. Anytime you put your attention on avoiding something, you're actually resisting it. What you resist persists. So the whole thing I'm trying to tell you is don't avoid third person. If you naturally go into third person, it's okay. Totally fine. It's not going to ruin your manifestation. Someone else isn't going to get your stuff. It's not that big of a deal. You just want to pull it back to yourself into first person. Now, here's the interesting thing. Getting into the habit of manifesting and visualizing in first person can be tricky for some people. If you've been a third person point of view for a long time, you want to get into the habit of practicing first person. It isn't as fun sometimes. You'll get there once you kind of get over the hump of really connecting with it. The reason why is you sort of end up facing whatever's in your subconscious when you do that. So let's say you have an ex that you really want to talk to and you left it at this horrible argument with them, right? And you imagine third person and you see the two of you hugging and it's all fantastic and it's like this romantic moment where you get back together and all is forgiven. Oh, this is how you feel as the observer. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. La, 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 la. Now bring that person up to your face and imagine them in your face apologizing. You'll go into sensory mode. So this is what I was going to explain. Is this sensory mode or is this emotional mode? In that moment, you don't know that they're apologizing yet. So you might be apprehensive. You might be nervous. You might be like, oh my God, did I brush my teeth? I haven't seen them in a while. All this kind of stuff, right? Now, of course, I'm not saying to visualize it from this moment in time, but what I'm saying is first person is real life, what you're doing right now. Stop right now and ask yourself, what are you doing right now? What are you thinking? It could be something you're thinking about your current environment. Literally, are you sitting? Are you standing? Are you walking? Are you hot? Are you cold? What are you thinking? Oh my God, would she shut up? She's rambling. Are you like, oh my God, she's so cute. It doesn't matter, right? Or you're not even thinking about me. You're like, how did I get onto this video? This is what you're looking to capture by deliberately selecting a moment in time and then capturing it in first person. That's basically what's happening. And you want to feel it realistic almost. You want to feel the moment realistically as you and only you would experience it. So you don't have to match what I would think in that moment. That's the whole point. It's sort of like, here's another way to think of it. You're sort of visiting your consciousness in that moment and being her or him, like being John Malkovich, kind of, right? But you're being them from that point of view and then coming back to where you are here. That's basically all that you're doing. So you don't want to project it into the future. Third person can also project it into the future often. First person makes it real right now. You're experiencing it really right now. This includes your five senses, although I'm not even into the five senses. I don't even worry about the freaking five senses. The only one I worry about is vision. What am I seeing? And then what are you thinking? What are you feeling? So the feelings you're looking for are what are you thinking and feeling in that moment. So you wouldn't be thinking, oh, this is wonderful, this is going to happen. You wouldn't be thinking that. You'd be thinking, oh my God, they're really saying this to me. Did I really manifest this? This is happening like right now. That's what you would be thinking realistically in the moment. So anyway, I hope this helps. I want to put this information out there. But again, you don't even need to visualize. I think everyone should be visualizing. The reason why is it's the most fabulous tool in the world for all sorts of manifesting. So I have a link down below of a video I made a couple of years ago. I'll put in the description bar about, do you even need to visualize? It's highly recommended, but it is absolutely not required. Your thoughts automatically create images, and those images are enough. You don't need to necessarily connect with it. People manifest stuff all the time just from their beliefs, stuff they've never even imagined before because it is the orchestration of something else. And so basically, no, you do not need to visualize. However, if you want to be a good manifester and you want to be very deliberate about getting the things you want, I would say put it in your toolbox as your number one tool and get into the habit of first person, feeling it realistically that you would feel in that moment, and then adjust it so that it feels good realistically, which means you got what you wanted. And yeah, that's what I recommend. And then don't worry about all the other possibilities of awful things that could happen, because the truth is anything is possible. So yeah, you could manifest someone else gets it. But why dwell on that? Why worry about that? Accept that that is a possibility and get your mind off of it and move on, because there's so many possibilities that you just naturally accept that accepting them doesn't cause them to manifest. Accepting them causes you to get your attention off of it and not worry about it or fear it. So when I say accept, I don't mean like accept it's going to happen, that the other person's going to get your manifestation or someone else's. I mean accept it's that every possibility exists. That's just one of them. Who cares? And put your attention back on what you want, because you don't want to give that attention, because then you start to select it into your focus too much. So anyway, I hope this helps. Happy manifesting, you guys. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, first person, that's what I do. But you know what? You can do whatever you want. Anything is possible.